أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم इंकशाफ राज हस्ती अक्ल की हद में नहीं इंकशाफ राज हस्ती अक्ल की हद में नहीं फ़लसफ़ियाँ क्या करे और सारा आलम क्या करे. This is a share of Allama Iqbal rahmatullahi alayhi, and this share explains that the ultimate reality of existence is beyond the limits of the human intellect. No matter how advanced our reasoning, philosophy or science becomes, there will always be questions that remain unanswered. No doubt that science has given us incredible knowledge. We understand atoms, galaxies, and even the genetic code of life. But despite these advances, fundamental mysteries remain. What caused the universe to exist? What is consciousness? And why does the universe follow precise mathematical laws? Even the greatest physicists of the time, from Albert Einstein to Stephen Hawking, admitted that we do not fully understand the nature of reality. The Big Bang Theory explains how the universe evolved after its origin, but it does not explain why it happened in the first place. Similarly, quantum physics shows us that the reality is unpredictable and mysterious at its core. Most of the atheists, if you look around, most of the atheists often claim that everything can be explained through science and reason, but but the truth is even that the most logical minds even cannot explain why something exists instead of nothing. Richard Dawkins, the famous atheist Richard Dawkins, I call him, Sheikhul Mulhideen. He argues in his book by the name of God is Delusion. He argues in his book that belief in God is irrational, illogical, irrelevant, yet he cannot explain the origin of universe without speculation. Wakilul Mulhideen, Sam Harris, promotes a rationality but cannot answer why morality and consciousness exist if we are just a biological machine. So, the greatest irony is that many of the atheists place blind faith in science, and they forget that science itself admits its limitations. Even the laws of physics cannot explain why they exist in the first place. So, if the logic alone could explain everything, there would be no need for wonder, mystery, or even the philosophy. So this is why the greatest thinkers of the time, like Imam Ghazali, Maulana Rumi, Allama Iqbal, rahmatullahi alayhi, remind us that that the reason alone, that reason alone cannot unveil the ultimate truth. Just as love, emotions, and beauty cannot be measured scientifically. The deeper meaning of the existence is, it cannot be fully understood through intellect alone. Does this mean we should abandon the reason? The answer is simple no. The answer is crystal clear no, because science and reason are powerful tools, and they must be combined. They must be combined with spiritual insight that we can truly understand the basic purpose of life. So even the greatest physicists of the time, the greatest physicists of the time, like Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Planck, and Heisenberg, believed in a higher power, or at least they admitted that the reality is, the reality, the nature of the reality cannot be understood through intellect alone. So when the Shair says "Falsafiyan kya kare or sara alam kya kare," it reminds us that no matter how much we analyze, argue, or theorize, there will be questions that remain unanswered. The deepest truths of the existence will always be beyond the limits of the human intellect. So the real path to understanding comes from the both knowledge, science and science and spiritual insight. Science tells us how things work, but the spiritual insight, wisdom, faith, and intuition help us why we are here in this dunya.